Hi, it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and I'm here today to share my May projects. I'm super excited about today's video because not only do I get to share with you my most recent finish, which I actually just finished yesterday afternoon, but I also got some quilts back in the mail to share with you and some other fun projects that I'm working on. So let's just jump in and go ahead and get started. Okay, first up, and this one you've actually seen before, but I'm showing it because I finally have the pattern available for you. I believe I shared this with you earlier. This is the mini bucket list quilt, and it is charm and mini charm friendly and just a great table topper or wall hanging. But the pattern actually includes this and this larger size. So let me just open this up and put it on the table. It's not a particularly large quilt. It's like 50 by 60, I believe. And just a great lap quilt, kids quilt, picnic quilt. But it is included in the same pattern with the mini quilt. And I made this using our Emma fabric collection, and it was quilted by Miriam Bott. And I have the pattern ready in paper and PDF now. It's been a little bit of a work in progress because I made that mini quilt over the summer and always intended to release the pattern with both versions. And so finally got this done a couple of weeks ago and got it back from the quilter, and just really excited to share this bucket list quilt with you. Now, I also just recently had some quilts come back from Martingale that I want to share with you before we get into the actual projects. And this first one is from a brand new Martingale book that you're definitely going to want to add to your list. This is my tribute quilt, and it's in the Red and White Quilts book 2. We can pop up a picture of the cover on the screen. I don't have my actual book yet. I believe they're going to be shipping here any day, but there are some phenomenal quilts in that book. I feel so blessed to have been able to have a quilt in along with all of those amazing quilts. And my quilt is called Tribute because of the Red and White Quilts exhibit in New York City, that I just kind of fell in love with that. And I've made a few, I believe this is my third red and white quilt that I've made since seeing that exhibit. And this one was extra special because I used reds from all of our different fabric collections that were available at this time. And so all of these fabrics are ours. I even had some Summer Sweet to use for the backing, but it's so great to have this home. I feel like red and white quilts are really some of the most versatile there are because you can use them for at least 3 holidays, you know, Memorial Day and, well, actually 4, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Christmas, and even Valentine's. So I'm really excited to have this one home. Now, this next quilt is also from a Martingale compilation book, and I had fun. I believe I had made this either right before or right after. No, it must have been right after because I did that red and white quilt, and then I thought, oh, I'm going to use all of the corals from a lot of our collections for this one. And this one, I do have the book. It actually just showed up the other day. I have a few in my shop, but you can get it off Amazon or from the publisher, Martingale. But this is part of the book Snuggle Up by the Moda All-Stars. It has 12 cozy nap and lap quilts, and this is a wonderful, wonderful book. There are multiple quilts that I want to make out of this book. All different, you know, designs, mostly about this size, just kind of a quilt that you throw on the couch. My quilt is actually, I'm just looking up the size on it in the book. It is called Coral Garden, and it finishes at 54 by 69. So just a really nice size, but just really, really some great quilts in this Snuggle Up book that you're going to want to make. Just, you know, all the Moda All-Star books are wonderful, but this one I was super excited to see all the other projects. And the Red and White Quilts book, I should have mentioned also, not only has quilts that are recently designed, but there are also a couple of antique quilts in there that are just incredible. So 2 books you're going to want to put on your quilting book wish list. Okay, one more finish to share with you. We're actually gonna stop the video. I'm gonna fold these up and spread that one out on the table. Okay, so this is my big finish. Actually just finished less than 24 hours ago. This is my sampler spree quilt from the book by Susan Aki. And I used 100 of the blocks. There are, I believe, 106 in here. Just one thing to note, when you're using a quilt book a lot, these spiral bindings are just great. I believe Billy takes them to an office, Kinko's, and gets them bound for me like this. So I really love to be able to lay the book flat. Okay, so you can see some of the blocks here. We'll pop up a couple pictures that I also took when I finished yesterday. All of the fabrics in this quilt are from Sherri and Chelsea collections, and I mixed and matched, and I didn't even worry about it. I used different kinds of backgrounds. Some of our collections have a little bit more creamy background, and some are a little bit more towards a truer white. So they're all mixed together. I didn't worry. Kind of what I did for my process is after I had the 100 blocks sewn, I put them into piles according to the dominant color in the block. So this would have been in the red pile, this would have been in the navy pile, green, orange, or coral. And once I had all those piles, I tried to take 4 different color stories to put together in each block. And you sash the blocks with some sashing, and I used, for all of the quilt, I used this print from Seashore Drive, and I used this little Clover Hollow blueprint. Then, once you have the blocks sewn like this, I just love this setting that Susan designed. You also have a secondary sashing, and so for that I used this yellow print from our Emma collection, and I just used the solid Moda Bella 9900-200, the off-white. With it, I thought it might be a little bit too busy if I used another low volume, so I used this, and I just really love it. This is definitely a spring or summer quilt, even though some of the blocks have these darker colors, just because the yellow just really says, you know, just brightens it up. And I'll just show you quickly too. The sashing actually creates the outer border of the quilt, and I will be binding it in the yellow. So that's how she has her quilt in the book, and that's what I'll do as well. But really, really excited to have this done. I've been working on it, as you probably know, for over a year. And what really motivated me to get this done was our new fabric came that I'm going to be sewing with. And so I just thought, I've got to get this off of my list. Just real quickly, because I am taking this to the quilter probably tomorrow, I already have my backing pieced, and I normally don't use a backing that I've used so much of in the quilt, but I had kind of a little mix-up when I was requesting some backings, and I ended up with double of this print. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and use it for the backing too. So just because I had so much extra of this fabric. So probably if I had anything to choose that I wanted to choose, I might have used one of these florals or something for the backing, but I think this will be good. So now let me just show you a couple of the other smaller projects that I'm working on. And so this is the block of the month. If you've been following along, we have been sharing the blocks, and this is the most recent. We've got 5 blocks now. I'll just start back at January. I can't remember when I flipped through these. So January and February, these are all with Seashore Drive. March, April, and May. And then I am also doing a small set of blocks using the Minnick & Simpson fabrics, January, February, March, April, and May. And you can find these individual videos here on the channel and on the blog. So that's one of the things I'm working on. The other thing I'm working on that I don't believe, I might have had a block or 2 ready last time, I can't remember, but Moda Blockheads is in full swing, and I'm once again doing large and small. The patterns are 9-inch finished and 4.5 inches finished. So just really quick, I'll just share block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, block 5, 6. This was bonus block 1, and then block 7, and block 8, and this was bonus block 2, and then this one, actually this was block 8. I must have missed 7. This was block 8, and this is another bonus block. So, and then in the little ones, just real quick, these are all of these blocks are being made from the Emma collection. And for my small blocks, I'm just using the reds, grays, and blues. So block 1, I won't even try to tell you which one they are because I know there's some bonus blocks in here and I'm not sure exactly which ones they are. But these have been really fun, these little ones. I'll be making a separate project to use for 4th of July decorating with these little blocks. Love, love, love this one. Yeah, so this is the Moda Blockheads 4. I'll have a link to that as well. You can join in, it's not too late. All of those patterns are free. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be super, super busy sewing the new quilts over the next month or so. We won't be able to share those until July, but I will need to make 4 pretty good sized quilts by then. And also I have some smaller projects that I'll be making with that fabric. So that's going to take up the bulk of my sewing time, but I still like to have something else on the table. So I will be working on my little village houses, and because I haven't made any with Emma yet, and I'll need to make some with the new collection. But I wanted to show you something else that I purchased, and it's kind of going to be my summer project after I finish the new quilts, but I wanted to share it for you now. And it's just something I fell in love with. It's by Lori Simpson of Minnick & Simpson, and it's her blue Pear Block of the Month quilt. And I love blue, and I love Lori's fabrics. And what I love about this Block of the Month, and I believe you can buy the pattern just by itself too from her website, but I love that it has just a combination of piecing and some simple applique. I really want to work on my applique, and I feel like these are gentle curves with these pears and these leaves. And so I thought this would be a fun summer project. You know, sometimes it's too hot to work in the sewing room as much, but I can sit and just do some hand sewing and sew. Anyway, so I purchased this kit from Lori, and I have the first 3 months. I haven't started. I really don't see myself starting until I've got my 4 quilts done with the new collection, but I just wanted to share with you, if you do like applique, this is really a pretty pattern that Lori has designed. Okay, and that is it for May. I'm really hoping that I can have some fun things to share with you next month in June. I'm betting they're going to be blocks for some of my works in progress, and maybe a couple table runners or small projects, just because I won't be doing any really big projects while I'm sewing those quilts. But we will have everything linked in the description below, and I hope you are keeping up with your own works in progress and that you enjoy seeing these videos. I sure love how accountable they make me to myself. Okay, so that's it for today's May projects. I hope you enjoyed today's video. As I mentioned earlier, I am going to be doing a lot of secret sewing over the next several weeks, but I do have kind of a plan in mind to do some things for myself as well to kind of break up the different sewing projects. So don't worry, I will have some fun things to share in June also. But yes, I've got a lot of sewing to do over the next 30 days or so. So if you enjoyed today's video, please share it with a friend, hit the like button, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for stopping by.